Hey there. It's me, Jason. Welcome to my channel, The Lanky Lefty 27. I'm a registered polysomnographic technologist, otherwise known as a lowly sleep tech. Really no prospects in this world. All I have to share with you today is the DreamStation 2. This is an auto CPAP advanced, their newest unit. If you're watching this in 2025, it's a little older now. So dumb. I'm gonna show you how to access the clinician's menu on this, and we are going to pretty much rip right into it because this is what you came to see. I'm gonna have a little disclosure at the end of this, as well as a topic that comes up every time I do one of these videos. So let's get started. But first, we need to discuss the sponsor of this video, CPAPsupplies.com. I get asked all the time, where should I go to buy inexpensive supplies? The answer, my friend, is CPAPsupplies.com. Check this out at the top of the website. There's always new coupon codes available. This one here, save 35% off site-wide. Whatever you want, 35% off. That's ridiculous. So let's go into Auto CPAPs. Let's check out this already discounted AirSense 10 Auto. Let's chuck it in our cart. Let's check out our cart. Let's view and edit our cart. $750, while inexpensive and not cheap enough for me. Let's apply the discount code. That ought to do it. And ridiculous, we just took $262 off of an already inexpensive machine for a total of $497 for a top of the line AirSense 10 with humidifier. Dude, you can't beat that. If you're in need of a full face mask, a nasal mask, nasal pillow mask, check out their options here. You can apply that exact same coupon code to any of these. Nice thing is CPAPsupplies.com will help you out as well. If you need help getting a prescription from your physician, some masks don't even require a prescription. If you hate the mask you selected, you have a 30-day mask guarantee to swap it out for one that you do like. And they have a 30-day price guarantee. Please visit CPAPsupplies.com often for the best deals possible, and click my link to visit them in the description box down below. Please help support CPAPsupplies.com as they are supporting me and supporting this channel. Now, if this isn't a beautiful shot, I don't know what is. Look at the professionalism. Camera in the background, ring light there. This is nice. To access the clinical menu or the provider's menu, we're gonna push in on the one button on this. Once it starts to blink rapidly, you will see how it's blinking there. While you're still holding it down, go from the top and swipe down. That's it. Actually, probably one of the easiest units to get into the clinician's menu. So let's go ahead and take a quick look at the settings now that we're in here. There, you can still see my fat head in the reflection. This is good. To go into mode, if you want to change it from auto to just straight CPAP mode, you can do that. So people always say this screen is laggy. I think if you're real deliberate with it and you're not like swiping around and touching it too much, it seems like it responds actually pretty well. So if you want to adjust the minimal pressure, so a typical thing, you'll get one of these and it'll be on like 4, and then the max pressure will be 20 oftentimes. That's a really, really terrible pressure to be on overall. I know this is what happens, kind of why I do these videos. People are put on like 5 to 20 or 4 to 20. Terrible pressure overall. Really, you want to be able to have, a wide range like that, 5 to 20, maybe for about 2 weeks, maybe even a week, and then it really needs to be narrowed down or even set on one static pressure. To do that though, you really need to be using a program such as Oscar, and at this current moment, I do not believe Oscar is compatible with this machine, but it will be. I have faith that it will be. So really, to change the pressure like we just showed you, you just tap on it, hit the plus or the minus button. So here's a good rule of thumb if this doesn't ever have Oscar compatibility. If you feel like you're not getting enough air initially, you're probably not on high enough pressure. I think people are really pretty good indicators when they're not getting enough. If you feel like you need more, you probably do. That's a real basic way of saying it, but I think I found that to be fairly true with most people. Anyway, that's how you do it. We'll get into more of why you would do that later, but that's not for right now. So flex setting, flex setting is a nice tool to use if you are absolutely having a really, really difficult time with a high pressure. I haven't confirmed this yet because I don't have Oscar accessibility and I don't know what the algorithm is and all the settings are for these. But if it holds true, like the previous DreamStation, if you have it set for 1, that's a decrease when you exhale by roughly 0.7 centimeters of water. That's a pressure setting. So for example, if you're on 10 centimeters of water as your pressure and you have it set for 1, you'll drop down to like 9.3 roughly. If you have it on 2, you drop down another roughly 0.7, so it drops you like 1.4, and then it's like 2.1 when you're on 3. It's kind of what I found it to be on the previous versions. I know that's not exact, but it's close enough. Ultimately, when you're using Flex, it can be a very nice tool if you're in need of it. If you're like, wow, I'm not going to use CPAP unless this pressure exhalation is just too much for me to exhale against. I can't relax with it. Then use that. When we're breathing, we actively inhale, but when we're exhaling, we just relax. And I think a lot of people get into the cycle on CPAP when they're using it of feeling like they have to force the exhalation. You really don't have to force it. In fact, that gets you into trouble. Just do like you normally do during the day without CPAP on and just relax. You'll exhale what you're gonna exhale on that. And I know oftentimes people feel like nothing's coming out, but the next thing you know, you're inhaling again. So something did come out. That's just my little public address announcement. Okay, so onto the tube. This unit comes with the 15 millimeter heated tube. Now you know it's that because this is the end of the tube, and you can see right there, HT15. That's heated tube 15. We have 15 millimeters. If it's a real skinny one, real skinny, it'll be the 12, and it'll say a 12 on the end of it. This is the end that plugs into your mask. And if you have the 22, that's the thick boy. That is the thick boy. That one usually doesn't say anything. It's just, it looks like a big ass tube. You can tell it's big. So anyway, select the tube that you need. And we're gonna keep on moving. Okay, ramp. This is the ramp plus feature. Man, I don't like ramps at all. That's just my own opinion. If you do need a ramp, you can use it. What happens is it's gonna set you, so this is ramp plus actually. It's a little confusing for me, quite honestly. I think it does a ramp until you have, or maybe it keeps you at the lowest pressure setting you have for the ramp setting, and then when you have an event, it kicks, then it starts the ramp. So man, ramp, what I see that as is you're basically, you're forcing yourself to suffer for whatever time you select. If you select 15 minutes, it's not going to increase you to the appropriate pressure for like 15 minutes. If you can, I would get away from ramp altogether. That's just my humble opinion. But anyway, this is how you get into it and change it. All right, so on to patient access. So patient controls, it kind of tells you exactly what it does. I have these enabled, but they usually default come off because respiratory therapists are dicks. So you hit that and it tells you, allow the patient to control the humidification, the ramp, the flex, heated tube, all that stuff. Patient data, this pretty much, if you have that on, it allows you, the patient, to view the AHI data on the reports. It's honestly largely useless. The AHI I have always found to be reported by these machines is really bad, because what you're going to find is you have a low reported, I'm really getting on a tangent. You're going to have a really low reported AHI, and you're going to feel like crap, and you're going to wonder why, and then you're going to quit CPAP thinking that it was something else, but really what it is there's a bunch of other stuff that's going on that's causing you to feel like crap, and the machine reported AHIs really suck. So there you go. More on that later. Okay, now we get into options. So easy start. Easy start. I heard someone say easy start is that when you exhale against it, it automatically starts the pressure. That's not right. I'm pretty sure that's not right. Easy start, I believe, is when you have it on a pressure of, say, I don't know, whatever the pressure is. Say you're on 15 and you have easy start enabled. It, I think, starts at a much lower pressure, and then it increases it by 1 centimeter every night. So I guess we can turn this on and see if it, yeah, never mind. I believe that starts it off on a lower pressure, and every single night of use, it'll increase you by 1 until you get to your target prescribed pressure. I'm pretty sure that's what that is. Mask type, they have their, of course, they have their confusing X1 mask type thing, like all these, X1, 2, X3, X4, it's really confusing. I wish they would just say, like nasal mask, nasal pillow mask, full face mask. That's a lot easier than knowing all these X settings. It's kind of a dick move by Philips, in my opinion. Yeah, that's more or less it. We'll go ahead and put mask type off because our mask apparently doesn't have a type. Then once you're done with all these settings, you can go ahead, you can just exit out and it'll take you out of there. But let's go ahead and go into device. So you see you have your settings of language, you have your time you can set. It gives you the total machine hours. So I've used it for 30 hours and some change. It has a serial number, so if you're trying to set this up with Dream Mapper, which by the way is super useless, more on that later. It tells you what software version, PIN number if you want to set it. So data, but it gives you your average AHI. Really, really largely useless. 90th percentile pressure, again, useless. Average mass fit, again, useless. All right, to exit the provider menu and talk about some good stuff, here we go. There, we're out of it. Yay, done. Now, if you just want to start using it, you're going to hit the button down here, and it starts up. Let's go ahead and cap the end of that. So my SD card's out, cool. So if we want to go in here, we can also do some other things like the humidification on the fly. You can change it so it says it's starting at 6, right? You can hit the humidification, hit it again, it'll change it. You just pretty much, it just keeps toggling between everything. But that's how you can change it on the fly. And then apparently you just wait and it'll go out of there. All right, more or less, that is the machine. Look at this, Stanford's calling me. Every time I do one of these videos, I get a lot of backlash from people who say I shouldn't be sharing this information. And it's really funny, right before I recorded this, 3 hours ago, I got this message on a different video where I'm sharing the pressure settings. So this person, I don't want to put their name because I believe that they're saying this in good faith. And so it's a legitimate concern that people have, and I'll address it right now. This person says it is irresponsible to show how to change the air pressure settings and related to people who are not trained to make the correct settings. Yes, the end user is ultimately responsible and hopefully will work with his or her doctor, but why in the world make a video that some will use to circumvent that process? If you are licensed or certified, your governing body should suspend you. And I hope you have really good liability insurance, though if they see this video, they will probably drop coverage. This comment isn't meant to be personal. Hope your life goes well, but seriously, man, remove the video and find other ways to look helpful online. If I were a millennial, I'd say
there's a lot of stuff to unpack there.
But I'm not. I'm gonna say there's a lot of comments there that are nifty. Hopefully they'll work with their doctor. I agree. I think people should work with their doctor. Here's the problem though. A lot of times when people are working with their doctor, the doctor says, well, Bob, your AHI is nice and low. It's under 5. Everything's looking great. You should be doing really, really well. Here's the problem with that, is they're not doing really, really well. And I say this because I run a business. It's called axgsleepdiagnostics.com. I do one-on-one Zoom sessions with people. I look at their data from their CPAP machines through a program called Oscar. It is a free program. You can get it from sleepfiles.com/Oscar. It shows you extremely detailed breath-by-breath data throughout the entire night. It also gives you leak data graphs as well as what the pressure is at all times. Also a ton of other information that really isn't real helpful for me, but some people find interesting. So in doing these, the problem is every single person that comes to me is working with their physician. They're all saying everything's great, yet they're not doing great. So make that make sense. The reason they're not doing great is because doctors don't know. They're not the end all be all. They make mistakes. I can't tell you how many times people have been on the wrong pressure. People have been on the wrong mode of pressure. People have been over titrated and people have been under titrated. Every single session I do, there is a problem that is easily identifiable and it's not being identified by their physician. Many of these are board certified sleep physicians. So I really appreciate your comment, but you're so far off base with that. If you think the medical community has this figured out, you're so wrong. And so I'm gonna go ahead and address that last part of remove this video and find other ways to be helpful online. Yeah, axgsleepdiagnostics.com. Hit me up for one of those PAP therapy analyses. You're welcome. I'm just kidding, that was a jerk thing. But seriously, that's what I'm doing and I'm helping a ton of people. So here's the other thing, work with your doctor. Absolutely, work with your physician. I am 100% for that. But the problem with that is there's so many physicians that are kind of asses. Some are dicks and they just say, you're right, you're good, you should be fine, stop complaining. Just keep at it, just keep at it, just keep doing it, just gotta keep doing it. How helpful is that at some point? So oftentimes there's a mask leak, there's a mouth leak, inappropriate pressure, all the time. And those things alone will completely undermine someone's therapy. And guess what? They quit. And then you have people saying, oh, well, 50% of all people use CPAP quit. You wanna know why they quit? All the reasons I just said. Boom. This is turning into a very helpful rant. It's actually cleansing. All right, what else do we have here? But why in the world make a video for someone to circumvent the process? Yeah, sometimes people need to circumvent the process because ultimately the only person that suffers is the patient, you the patient. If the patient is suffering and the doctor's not responding, you have to do something else, right? You got to take matters into your own hands. You have to advocate for yourself. And when they do, I can tell you, I'm going to say 99% of all the people I've done PAP therapy analysis with are extremely happy. The ones that aren't, it's because I lost their emails and I didn't respond to them. They got pissed off and it was my fault. People do need to understand what to look for as regarding their therapy, and they need to understand how to fix their own problems. This is not me thinking that's the way it should be. It's the way it is. Okay, so when you say the comment isn't meant to be personal, it's not personal to me at all. I don't take it personally. But I can promise you, give this video some time or look back at all the other videos I've done where I show people how to change the pressure, and you tell me I'm wrong. Look in there and you'll see how many, oh my God, thanks, you're a lifesaver. I was about to quit. Oh my God, thanks, you're a lifesaver. Now I can actually sleep. Oh my God, thank you so much. I feel so much better now. Look at that. Look at the ways to resolve mouth leaking or mask leaking. All of that stuff plays a huge part in this. Doctors are completely unaware. So I appreciate your comment, and I appreciate people that think that this is somehow detrimental to people, but open your eyes, look at what's actually going on, read the comment section. I don't think you're gonna find anyone in there that says, oh my God, I changed my pressure, I died. I guess that can't happen. But oh my God, I changed my pressure, things got so much worse. I've never seen that. I've never seen that. The people that are having a really hard time, some of them that come to me and say, oh, I tried all these different things, there's little nuances within the detailed data that are clues as to what's going wrong. You fix those variables and bam, it's a whole new world. Everything is so much better when you fix those variables. And I think the CPAP compliance, even though I hate that term, could be so much higher if the medical community, such as myself and maybe yourself, I don't know, the writer of this, it would be so much better if we all just kind of paid attention to what's actually going on and listen to the patient. That's how I learn things. I just listen to the patient. I am done ranting, and really Stanford's really trying to get a hold of me. Thanks for watching. Keep changing those pressures randomly, you little pressure pirates. Oh, I forgot. If you like what we're doing here and you want to support this channel, check out axgsleepdiagnostics.com. The other thing you can do is check the links in the description box down below. Tons of links. If you shop on Amazon, you can use my Amazon affiliate link. If you want some cheap medication, I think I have a link in there for that as well. You can do PayPal donations, Patreon donations. You can become a YouTube member. All kinds of stuff that's like super easy. Anyway, I appreciate you watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.
Thank you to all watching, but an extra thick thanks, buddy, to Veronica Young, Sarvesh Joshi, Stuart Hetherington, and Mona Swearingen. And thank you to my other level Patreon supporters as well as my YouTube members.